Has the property market turned in quarter 3? Hi, my name is Alan from Alan Property. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to explore if the property market has started to turn around in quarter 3. As usual, I'll be justifying my research based on data and not based on market sentiment. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the numbers. Let's study the URA Property Price Index first. As mentioned in URA Quarterly Update on 3rd July 2023, it said, private housing market shows signs of moderation with a decline in second quarter 2023 private residential property price index flash estimate. In short, it stated that the quarter-on-quarter gain was only 0.4% in second quarter 2023, following a 3.3% gain in first quarter 2023. But wait, the URA PPI data for quarter 3 2023 is not out yet. Do you know? For my own research, I don't look at the URA property price index only. Call me kiasi. I always believe that the real market is in the resale market. The resale market is the real property market where transacted price will give you a good barometer of the property market. For URA PPI, if I'm not wrong, they also factored in the new homes data into their analysis. As we all know, property developers sell at the price they want and buyers have to accept it, whether they like it or not. That is why lumping the new homes data may skew the real numbers on the ground. These are like second-hand bicycles that I recently purchased from Carousel. They can ask for whatever price they want, but the fair market value is always between a willing buyer and a willing seller. Anyway, now I have a bicycle. It will be easier for me to take more photos for my videos. In this chart, I will use resale data for all resale properties for private condominiums in my analysis. I will include data for all regions and tenure. I will only compare data from Q3 2019 to Q3 2023, as this is before and after COVID-19. We can see that the resale prices have generally increased by 16% over the past 3 years. If we look at Q1 2023, the PSF was the highest at 1,555 per square feet. For quarter 2 2023, the PSF has moderated to 1,553 PSF. For Q3 2023, we are only 2/3 the way. The PSF is 1,547 PSF. Let us use this number as a reference. This means the price has declined by $8 per square feet, or 0.5% from the beginning of the year. This is not very significant, but what we can see here is that the price growth has moderated and has started to taper off. We are still early days. More data in the coming weeks will give us a better idea. Here, if we compare the resale volume in Q1 2023, there are 2,748 units. If we compare it against Q1 2022 data, there are 3,271 resale transactions. This means there is a decline in transaction volume between the two quarters. If we look at Q2 2022, there are 4,264 units. In Q2 2023, there were 3,272 units. This means there is a decline in transaction volume between the two quarters. There are clear signs that resale volume is declining. In any typical fashion, a decline in volume will usually translate to a decline in prices, as seen from the chart. Will history repeat itself? Here, for most of you who watch my humble video, if you have noticed, I have been quite bearish on the market since the beginning of the year. Why do I say so? Firstly, we are already out of COVID. This means that the mad rush to buy property to work from home is already a thing of the past. Secondly, a high interest rate environment will deter investors from buying property for investment. If you are buying for your own stay today, you don't have much of a choice. You will still need to buy and accept the high interest rate. However, if you are a savvy investor, it doesn't make sense to buy during a seller's market and with a high interest rate environment. I think parking your extra funds into Singapore government bonds, T-bill or fixed deposit is a safer bet in my opinion. Let me share this with you. I know of some Lao Jiao property investors. They are all eating buffet, playing golf, going cycling, going on holiday. They are all staying away from properties. Some are also my hardcore subscriber and watching this video. You know who you are. Here, only the Xinjiao investors are buying. I just wonder here if they are too late into the game. Thirdly, with a looming estimated 15,000 private homes flooding the market and more to come on board in the next 2 years. You can refer to my earlier video here. Can the market absorb all this supply? Are there really so many buyers around to own apartment that cost easily more than $1 million? Anyway, HDB has introduced so many beautiful and affordable HDB BTO flats. I'm very sure these BTO flats will give private homes a run for their money. Fourthly, our government has already announced so many cooling measures over the years. The mother of all cooling measures was announced on 27 April 2023. The government raised ABSD across all segments, from Singapore citizens to Singapore permanent residents and foreigners. ABSD rate for Singapore citizens is raised from 17% to 20% when purchasing their second residential property. For permanent residents purchasing their second residential property, the ABSD is raised from 30% to 35%. And most importantly, the ABSD rate is raised from 30% to 60% for foreigners purchasing any residential properties. For foreigners still keen to buy property paying ABSD, I'm very sure the authority will be closely watching where your funds are coming from. Property agents risk their license and going to jail if they still proceed with these shady deals. For those who are more entrepreneurial and still plan to game the system, some of these loopholes include a 99-1 arrangement whereby a buyer will sell their 1% to another buyer in a short period, which has already been investigated by the authority. The authority has also clamped down buyers buying with full cash under trust, like in this case, as reported in the Straits Times. They have also stopped property developers from reissuing options for new launch projects so that the buyers can dispose of their existing property without incurring ABSD. Most recently, there has also been restriction to buy mixed commercial and residential zone site by foreigners. This to prevent rich foreigners from stamping up precious land in Singapore. On the other hand, the en bloc market is almost dead in my opinion, with deals being aborted and with many unsold en bloc sites with no takers. En bloc activities are always a sign of market revival, whereby cash-rich buyers will flood the market to buy resale properties, thus pushing up their prices. No more en bloc mean no more hot money. This is further exacerbated by poor sales since in most recent new launch. Will developers give further discount going forward to move units? I'm very sure. Just be a little patient. If you have benefited from this video, appreciate it if you can bring me along to the show flat so that I can make my sales. Lastly, the latest investigation of the billion-dollar money laundering case may deter rich foreigners from buying property here. Seriously, these rich individuals own properties around the world. The worst thing that can happen to them is not because their properties are seized, but rather their names are being exposed. In short, the authority has already clamped down all the different patterns. I wouldn't be surprised if they are looking into family office too. Here, URA Property Price Index for the third quarter of 2023 is not out yet. How will the numbers be performing? Anyway, if the price show continued sign of softening under the fourth quarter, does this mean 2023 will be the peak of the property market during this property cycle? Please share your thoughts in the comment sections below. For those who bought anything in 2023, you may wish to hold them tight. Make sure you have sufficient saving to pay your mortgage. For those who just received your keys to your TOP condos, drop rental and secure tenants to lock in a year or two. For those that have already seen some profit, take profit and run and reinvest them when the market bottom again. For those that over-leverage, good luck and pray hard that you will be spared from the typhoon ahead. I'm not sure if you agree with me. Anyway, I can be wrong. I'm only a property agent, talk, sing song on YouTube only. So please don't take me so seriously. Anyway, if you enjoy this sharing, appreciate it if you can like, share and subscribe to this video. Any lobangs to cash out, you can always approach me privately. That's all, and see you soon.